And it's in Far Rockaway. It's kind of like a bad neighborhood. And some black kid tried to rob us with a knife. We're carrying pistols. We look like regular white people. Yeah. We're not. Turned out bad for him. We left him in a fucking puddle of blood. We left him for basically. He tried to take our sneakers, everything with a knife. Now realizing we got guns on us and weapons. Bobby G pistol whipped them. That's, you know, this is what I'm trying to say, how we were. You know, people don't realize we were dangerous dudes, yeah.
We're rocking with the...
Oh, you ready? Ready to roll? Sorry, let's go.
We're rocking with the used to be just infamous, but now also famous, Gene Borello, out here in LA. So, you had a run a while ago as one of the first Mafia guys to turn informant, who then became a social media celebrity.
Right.
And you and John A-Light had a hit show, but it got shut down kind of by the feds. Tell us about that process and the feds actually giving you a hard time. How did they implement the hard time with you?
So what happened was, when I got out,
which was what year?
2019, December 6th, I got sentenced to time served. Literally, when you get time served, you walk out of the courthouse. It's crazy. You just, boop, walk out. So I didn't know what I was going to do because I was used to making, you know, lots of street money, and now I'm living a different life. So Johnny A-Light was very close with my Aunt Connie and family of mine before, back in the day. So he heard I was getting out. And he said, listen, tell Genie Boy to contact me. I said, all right. So I call him up. So now I tell the prosecutors at first, I tell them, listen, I'm going to do an interview. I'm going on Vlad TV. They said, yeah, that's fine. They were okay with it. But they just...
You just accompanied A-Light.
Yeah. So I didn't get my solo. He said, I'm going to bring you on to introduce you to everybody. You know, so everyone can know who you are. I said, all right. So I jump on, do small little things, and everyone's like, oh, modern day. I didn't know this still went on. Guys were out still running around like this. So then all of a sudden I blew up. People started asking me for interviews, all these things. I started getting all over the place, all over YouTube. And then I had this idea with Johnny. I says, listen, now remember, it was only Mike Francis and Johnny A-Light that was doing interviews at the time. So I'm like the third guy.
This is pre-Sammy the Bull.
Yeah, this is, yeah, because so now it's only them two. And then it's me now. And I says, let's do a podcast. Sit down, we'll bring guests. I think it'll blow up. We joked around at first and did an interview with me and him talking from a phone, and got 250,000 views. So we knew it was gonna be a hit. So we go into the studio and we start getting guests and doing everything. Where we messed up and we got the government mad, I did, is remember, I'm on federal probation. So they own you. They literally own you. So I can't sit with ex-cons and felons. So now here's the trick, how they got me. We started bringing guests on. So we brought this guy, John Rubio, on. John Rubio wore a wire against the Genovese family. Now, when he wore the wire, he came on the show, he put a lot of guys away, and what happened was, he said on the show, I made more money with the government than I did in the street.
They didn't like that.
The fucking judge, who's very strict in the Southern District, heard what he said. It was in the newspaper. It was going, our show was starting. Like, in other words, the government was, I mean, it's basically like, it sounded bad. Like the government was paying him good. Like it just sounded bad. And so the judge literally lost it and to get his ass back in front of me, and he's on probation. So that opened up Pandora's box. So that's when they says, we want you off the air. I says, what do you mean? I'm doing the right thing. I'm not committing crimes no more. They started fighting with me about it. And John Rubio got house arrest. He ended up getting house arrest over. They were going to put him in jail 6 months.
Just for doing the interview.
They were hitting us with contact because we're on probation. You can't be next to each other. That was the trick. And they didn't want us talking about organized crime and glorifying. They just wanted us off the air. But we were in the Daily News once a week. They were furious.
Oh, so you guys were really
popping.
You're like big meat of Italian Americans.
Yeah, so they were bugging out that we were getting too much media attention. Then they realized that like people were glorifying us. We're getting mail from China, Japan, all over. Everybody's watching us. So the show blew up. And what happened was I slipped up. And I got into a little dispute with my ex-girlfriend's husband, but they were waiting for a slip up. So when I slipped up...
So just what, like an argument?
Yeah, no, I threatened to kill someone. And the problem was, he went to the FBI and says, I'm scared for my life. It was bullshit. It was talk, it was bullshit. And they used that. And they violated me for that, but they didn't. They violated me for the Johnny and Gene show. They gave me stipulations of 50 stipulations. That I couldn't talk about organized crime, I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that, I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that. I mean, rules that you would die, like they were giving me. So they dismantled the show like that. That's how they got me. And they banned me from doing podcasts and from Instagram and everything until I was off probation. I had to do 18 months in violations, plus restart my probation.
When did that end?
Oh, September. I just got done.
Oh, Jesus.
I just got done.
And you've spent a big chunk of your adult life in and out of prison.
13 years.
So all these adventures we're going to talk about happened in a pretty short span of time.
Yeah.
So, okay, so to start, I'm interested in... I've been passed through Howard Beach and Bensonhurst and Ozone Park here and there in my life. And even just passing through them, interesting, different kind of places.
Right.
They're suburb, well, I mean, they're part of New York. Like they're, you know, up middle blue-collar areas with $700,000 million houses.
More.
There's
Right.
like it's like a whole industry of like...
Organized crime.
Now, but when you were growing up, what percentage of the people in Howard Beach were not necessarily made, but somehow connected to...
Fucking 80.
Oh, it was everybody.
Oh, it was everybody. I mean, literally, the Howard Beach was probably known as the most corrupt suburb in the country. It was if you said Howard Beach, they knew what Howard Beach was in other states.
No, but that was for that racist incident.
No, because Gotti lived there. John Gotti lived there, Vic Amusa lived there, Joe Messina lived there, and Joey Scopa lived there. That's 4 bosses out of the 5 families in one 10-block-mile radius neighborhood.
Was growing up, I mean, did you have to walk on eggshell? Like,
Yes. So that's funny. You're asking good questions. So let me tell you why. You get into a fight with a kid, you could be in the park, but I was related, so I didn't have that problem. But I've seen people get crippled over it. So you might be, for instance, you come to Howard Beach, you know, you're hanging out in the neighborhood, you're playing basketball, you get into a fight with a kid, you punch him in the face, all of a sudden...
And you're talking about 12, 13 years old.
Oh yeah, 14, 15, you punch a kid in the face, all of a sudden it turns out to be some skipper's son, some skipper's nephew. He comes home with a black eye. Now the fucking guy's furious. Go give that kid a fucking beating. Next day you're at the park, you're getting a fucking beating in front of everybody. By grown men.
So
Slapped around, whatever.
In the mafia stuff, a person, if they didn't know better, which most people don't, you know, we're just guys in suits and, you know, once in a while someone has to get killed. But there's a lot of, especially to even be at your status where they're looking at you, we might make you. It's run off of deadbeat people who borrow money to gamble and don't want to pay, lowlifes of various sorts who haven't paid their credit card bills.
Right.
So that's why they came to you. So they don't want to pay.
There you go.
So they got to know, oh no, someone will come over and ram my head into the garage.
Yes. So like I said, and I'm glad you said that, we deal with a lot of the scum. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, what comes with that? You know, if you don't pay, we have to, what? We have to hurt you. We have to make it known that if you don't pay us, there has to be some kind of consequence or nobody's going to pay you.
What were the women in the family, like when you were a kid, like, okay, you got all these violent men and like people's kids getting beat up, like, are the women, like, what, are they like the women on the Gotti? Like, they're just down with it, or everyone's just used to it? Yeah,
everyone's used to it, and most of the girls think they're men. And, you know, or they might be related to somebody, so they grow up believing in that life. You know, it's in that neighborhood. It's our culture. It's almost like our culture.
Do many people marry in, like, do people from there, if you were a kid from there and you went away to college, you probably wouldn't move back. If you wanted to be normal, you wouldn't come back home.
Right, exactly. You know, and like I said, now the neighborhood's totally different, but I'm talking about the last hurrah, which was our era.
Which is what year?
You're talking the early 2000s. You know, that's the last hurrah when people were getting shot and killed and crazy shit still going on. And now the violence is completely gone out of it. But I remember coming up, you know.
And your mother had some relatives that were.
Oh, sure. My uncle was Fat Andy Ruggiano, my mom's godfather.
Okay.
So he was mob royalty.
Yeah,
he was one of the most feared, respected men of his era.
Still around.
He's dead. No, he died.
Oh, that's his son.
Yeah, it's his son. Yeah, Anthony is my cousin, and he was a captain.
Anthony Maid?
He was. Well, technically he was. He was told he could sit. It was just he didn't get to do his ceremony, but he technically was. But his father and my uncle was.
So that was your mother's brother?
Yeah. No, mother's first cousin.
Okay.
Yeah, and
but he was a heavy hitter.
He killed for Abbott Anastasia. He goes back to the Murder Inc. He was straightened out, made by Abbott Anastasia. Then Don Carlo took him in after they killed Abbott Anastasia.
What was he like? Do you remember?
Oh, sure. Absolutely. Yeah.
If you didn't know better, would he have seemed normal, or would you meet him and think?
No, he's a scary looking guy.
Okay.
Yeah, he was cool though, but scary looking guy.
But you got that vibe.
Absolutely, you get that vibe, you know.
Seems like, I mean, when I started meeting serious bikers and people that were either made in the mob or hangers-on, they felt, You know, you could tell, like, okay, no, you're not just a regular guy.
There's some bad bikers, yeah, 100%.
Oh, no,
yeah.
bikers are frightening.
They're brutal.
And what age did you, in your mind, think I'm going to be a criminal?
A criminal or a gangster?
Yeah, well, okay.
Two different things.
Okay, so which happened first?
Criminal.
What age was that?
15, 16, I knew I was going to be a criminal.
And what were you doing? This is what year is this?
This is 99.
So what? Are you dabbling, selling weed at high school?
Petty shit.
Just
Petty
regular-
crimes, but violent. We were getting violent already.
From the start?
Yes.
Is that because you knew you could kind of get away with
No.
it? Or you're just...
I just had it in. I just had it in me. I was talking about that. It's DNA. My dad was a nut. You know, it's like
But he wasn't a criminal?
Yes, he was. Oh, he was. My dad was...
Like an organized crime?
No, not a gangster, just a street guy. Tough guy.
Like what would he do?
Armed robbery, shootings, jail time. He did it all.
As a career?
Yeah.
So that's it, you know, in America, at least as far as what you see, you would think there's not such a thing as like white guys who rob shit and all that. I mean, but there is.
When back in the day, the 70s, the 80s, the toughest guys was the Italians, the Irish, the guys, you know, those are lunatics. They were all maniacs coming up, you know what I mean? Killers, you know? They forget it, you know? So it was more, I feel like, I was saying it's DNA. I was just like my father. My father was a wild, crazy guy, and I was too.
What happened with him?
He passed away recently, but he ended up going to prison. He came home and he went into construction. He didn't want to be a street guy no more.
And were you living with him?
Yeah, we were together, me, my mom, and dad. Then they got divorced.
What age?
They got divorced when I was about 8 years old.
So you started, so the men you were being around was more so her relatives.
Right. My grandpa was a criminal as well.
Oh, okay.
On my mom's side.
Okay, we'll get to that story.
He died in prison as well.
So who has you doing violent stuff when you're 15?
Oh, ourselves, like a group of kids that we were just, you know, bad and, you know, doing fucked up shit.
Like, were the kids in Howard Beach?
Yeah, related. Yes.
Fighting each
so
other?
we all knew who's who already, who's related. So we're hanging out with this ones. We're jumping kids. We're beating people up. I caught an assault case with a weapon at like 16. It was me and my brother's son. He was a wise guy with the Gambinos. His name was Louis Sheeta. And we beat some kid up with tools. We got locked up. Yes. Yeah, we had a football fight, and he got tough at the football field, and he got away. And we caught him like 2 weeks later in the shopping center. We beat him up with tools.
Okay, so you get a criminal record at 16.
15.
15.
Yeah.
So at that point, do you think your mother...
I dropped out of school at 16, basically. You know, she had no control over me. I was just bad.
Did she even attempt...
She tried. Oh, yeah. Did
she feel bad about how your life turned out?
Well, think about it.
Did she try to keep you away from her criminal relatives?
Well, that's hard too, you know what I'm saying? But not only that, think about what I did. She tried to do everything for me, and then I turn around and I sneak out the window. I steal the car.
You weren't poor.
No. So I sneak out the house. I climb out my window. I steal the car because I want to go out. I fucking almost...
15?
I almost killed somebody. I flipped him over, and he went into a house. I almost killed him. So think of what they had to go through. I had to take off. I took off, left the scene, and the guy, thank God, survived. 15. He took... The plate got left at the scene. They never found it. Thank God. And the car got crushed, and that was it. That's, you know, it was just so much chaos.
It's almost like someone from a bad neighborhood put into a suburban environment.
I consider us Italian gang members. That's how we operated. And I hate to say, that's what we were. We just maybe talk differently, and you know, we make more money. But at the end of the day, we're just like the gang. We operate.
Street gang.
Yeah, that's what we are.
So is that how you graduate from sort of the tough guy thing, and then what? A maid member takes notice of you?
Not only that, it's just like you. So picture 7 out of 10 of your friends, their father's a wise guy, skipper, someone's related.
Really like that.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Everybody's related. Everyone's this, everyone's that. Everyone's got, I'm trying to be a bookie. I'm trying to get a half sheet. I want to do sports betting. You know, that's how the neighborhood was. And then me and my partner, Bobby, when we got older, we liked to steal. Armed robbery. So me and Bobby got into the armed robberies.
That was your first crime, major crime?
Me and Bobby were into the stick-ups. 18.
Who put it in your head? Armed robbery is a serious...
Well, we wanted to make real money. We grew up so fast. We're like 18, we're 30 really, you know what I'm saying? So we grew up so fast. We don't want to make $500. We want thousands, you know what I'm saying? We want everybody's wearing Rolexes and chains and nice cars at 16, 17, 18 years old over there. So, you know, everybody's trying to keep up, you know? So we got into scores.
On people or residents?
Everything.
Like, were you targeting like drug dealers?
Drug dealers, specifically drug dealers, and what we were targeting jewelry stores.
And what kind of like drug dealers in that neighborhood?
Oh yeah, anywhere we got tips.
Now, weren't allowed, if they were part of your social milieu of Italian,
Wise
or
guy,
whatever, but they had to be connected.
They can't protect drug dealers. That's the whole thing.
Oh.
Wise guys can't protect drug dealers. They'll take the money from you and say they do, but they can't protect them really.
Oh, that's interesting.
Can't bring drunks to the table. They can't go to a sit down. They lie and say, oh, they'll try to make it a lie, like, oh, it's loan money. No, it's drug money, motherfucker. Like, don't try that. Can't protect drug money. Can't protect drug deals. So it's open season on them.
Even if they're hanging out with
open
whoever.
Season on them.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
And they probably find that out the hard way.
Well, some of them are tough guys, and, you know, it ain't going to be just, you know, roll over.
Oh.
I had one put money on my head, you know what I'm saying? There's ones that, you know.
So what was your first successful one as far as a drug dealer?
Me and Bobby got a guy for like 1,000 pills of ecstasy. That was big back then.
Back then, the pills were still going for what, $15, $20?
$2 a pop, yeah. So that was big for me and Bobby.
How did that whole thing get set up?
Oh, basically we had a kid knew his drugs, tell him to bring it to us, say we want to buy it. We had a bunch of singles, you know, made it look like it was a lot of money in rubber bands when he got in, so we could see the money. We put the gun to him and took it.
Was he a youngish guy?
He was probably 20-something years old.
And who was he? Just
some jerk off from Long Island.
Oh, he wasn't even.
No, just some victim.
Someone trying to beat him off and sell him.
Yeah. So he was sick. He got hit for 1,000 ecstasy pills, which is nice, you know.
Yeah, easy lick. And
yeah, easy lick.
What did you go up from there?
We went from just now people know us as those kind of guys. So guys that want to make money, they'll come to us and go, yo, I got a score, and that's it. Boom. Then we started getting a little team, and then before you know it, we're sticking up a social club. That's where we fucked up.
Oh,
we crossed the line.
That's a little bit different.
Yeah, we crossed the line. Well, we didn't go into the club. We got a guy coming out of the club.
Who was he?
Oh, God. So we fucked up. And I tell this story a lot. We should have been killed. You ever hear John Gotti's right-hand man? Quack, quack.
Yeah,
his son's place.
The one who was on the wiretap.
So his family's place. Yeah, and we pistol up the guy.
His son. Was he made at the time?
No, not
Doesn't matter, but still.
His son's guy. Yeah, I got along with him. He's a legit tough guy, Junior Ruggiero. And we didn't know it was his place. We got the score. We knew it was a card game. We didn't know whose place it was exactly. It turned out to be a fucking...
Wouldn't you have assumed it had to be something?
We thought it was some half-ass jerk-off. We didn't really care. And then my partner's brother set it up. He's in the card game. He goes, yo, the first place guy's coming out with $50,000. But it just so happened the guy that won had an $80,000 Masterpiece Rolex on. So you got an extra...
$30,000 less.
Yeah. So we're 20 years old. I'm like, all right, let's go. And we fucking nailed it. I pistol whipped him. Got the stuff. Wait, it gets worse. The next morning, my guy I worked for, Ronnie Gialonzo's banging at my door.
And you already... What age are you at this point?
20.
So you already... How'd you get hooked up with Ronnie G?
Through his nephew, Bobby.
So at this point, are you officially working
for
him?
I'm on record with him. Yeah, I'm officially on record with the Queens faction.
So did he know you were going to do that?
No.
If you're on record, are they supposed to know everything
you're
doing?
Yeah, because now, think about this. We just did that to the Gambinos. They could think that the Bonanos sent us over there to do that. You can start a fucking war.
Yeah.
So, you know, it was a really bad situation, and I ended up having to give everything...
What did Ronnie G say when he comes?
Oh, he went ballistic on me, because he goes, did you do anything last night? I says, nah, what are you talking about? He goes, do me a favor, turn around, go the fuck upstairs, give me the money and the watch. He goes, you on camera, you dumb... He goes, wait for my phone call, let me see if I could save yous. You know what?
So you gave him the money and the watch?
Well, my end. I gave him my end, Bobby had to give him his end, we had to give him everything back, and then all of a sudden, we had to go meet them in a funeral parlor basement.
Oh, you think they were seeing where your heart was at?
They're scaring you. Yeah. Tactics is what they do. They always make you meet in fucked up places to see if...
And sometimes they do kill you.
Yeah, and you know, it was scary.
Killing was still going on.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I was nervous, and you know, I says, Bobby, we fucked up, man. And I pistol whipped the guy. And
that's probably
That's bad, yeah. And
I just took it.
I fucked, because at first he hesitated, and I smacked him with the fucking gun, and that was the problem. And I ended up getting a little beaten, you know, from my own people. Yeah, yeah. Ronnie gave me a little beat to save me, because it could have been, they could have X'd my head, and he'd have to serve me up. But, and plus he wanted to save his nephew. It's his brother's kid, so he's not going to serve up his nephew. Yeah. So I knew me and Bobby got a little cracked around. And then he says, no more of this shit. If you're going to do something, let me know. He started flipping out.
Was he a pretty frightening guy?
Very tough guy.
Are any made members, maybe not now, but in your area, where if a guy was made, they were all fairly intimidating?
Not always. Some of them get into money, you know, but
they had, well, you knew they had something that would come in.
Yes, you knew they had somebody.
So
they had guys like me. Think about guys like, how I was. They had guys like me, you know what I'm saying?
The scary thing is you don't know how many guys like you they got.
Exactly.
You might know, okay.
See, the 90s, the 90s era, my cousin Johnny Boy's era, he was killed. That era was so bad. From like 90 to like 98 was so bad in organized crime. There was people getting killed left and right.
People don't know. There were, in New York City, I mean, it wasn't all just...
It was the Wild Wild West.
There was Mafia. Dozens of Italians every year.
The Colombo War, 17 people were killed and 30 were shot. This is just from one family.
And that was in just a space of, what, 18 months or something?
Yeah. They were carrying grenades. You know, so like I said, Italians, we were lunatics. And then in my cousin's era, my cousin had 4 bodies at 20 years old.
And he wasn't made.
He was going to be. He got killed at 22.
And he would have been a banana?
Oh, Gambino. He was with John Jr. and them. Yeah, he remember Charles Kniggley and John Jr. and all of them. Yeah.
So your guy comes and gets you. You're taken to the basement of the funeral parlor.
Yeah, with the Gambinos there. Right.
Did that slow you? Okay, so you take a little beating, you give the money back. Did that stop you from robberies?
No.
Not at all.
Not at all.
You feel like you were like an adrenaline junkie?
Yes, we were. We were. Me and my partner were doing a lot of... We were by my partner's girlfriend's building, and it's in Far Rockaway. It's kind of like a bad neighborhood, and some black kid tried to rob us with a knife. We're carrying pistols. We look like regular white people. We're not. Turned out bad for him. We left him in a fucking puddle of blood. We left him for dead almost, basically. He tried to take our sneakers, everything with a knife. Not realizing we got guns on us and weapons. Bobby G cut it.
Your generation would have been the first one that was probably starting more to interact with black and Hispanic, Latin kids, blah, blah, blah. Did you rob any black or Hispanic guys?
Sure. We used to hit drug dealers. When I got older, we were hitting drug dealers of any, you know.
How would you get a line on them? You had...
So I had a friend of mine named Ronnie Mans. He was a real known tough guy. He was older, and he was a big crack dealer. And a known...
From where?
Woodhaven, Jamaica Avenue. But he was hang out with everybody. He did a lot of jail time. He was older. He was good friends with my cousin Johnny Boy. Me and him hooked up.
Black guy? White
no, white guy. Irish guy.
Oh, selling crack?
Oh, he had a crack route. Yeah, and he was holding shit down in the bad areas. He was one of those guys. So he was like, listen, he likes to do scores as well. And he's like, we started robbing.
And this is what, 01?
No, this was 2011.
Oh, this ain't that long ago.
No, this is 2011. That's when I started robbing. You could say...
It's like, they don't show us white crack kingpins on the news.
Yeah. And that's what he was. You know, we were robbing any SSC. We didn't care. Spanish, black, whoever had it. We were taking it.
Like in what amounts?
We were hitting 100,000 cash. We were getting sometimes bricks. We were getting coming off. But, you know, some of these guys are not taking that. You know what I'm saying? Some of them are, you know, looking to get back at you.
So who put the money on your head?
This kid AD. We terrorized him. And
who was he?
He was a big drug dealer. He's like a Spanish kid out of Ozone Park. And we got him for a lot. Yeah, and we got him for a lot of money and drugs. And remember, I'm a full-blown known mafia guy. A lot of people were terrified of me at the time. And I got word, Ronnie Mans, that they put 50K on our head. So we found out he was at a strip.
AD put the 50 on your head.
So that's what he told somebody, got back to us. So now when we hear something like that, you have to take that seriously. So we confronted the situation right away at a strip club where we pulled pistols out on him, dragged him outside and put him in the car and made him shit himself and told him, we ever hear something like this again and you'll be left in this motherfucker.
And this is at the time when New York's crime had gone down a lot. So I mean, 2012. So relative for what was going on in New York,
we were still
you were really out of control. Because in the 90s, this type of stuff was happening. But in 2012, there wasn't that much of that going on.
We were still doing it, So that was the problem. That's what the FBI... Well, that's what the FBI said. You know, you fucking doing old school shit. You know, in fucking 2012, 2013, you're still running around like it's, you know...
What were you doing with the... If you're... Okay, were you kicking up money to Ronnie G?
So, no, Ronnie was a multimillionaire. So, but he would want a taste of some things. I more or less helped Vinny out, Asaro, the legend guy, you know. He was part of Latanza Heist. Right.
Okay, so tell us about Ronnie G.
So Ronnie G. Alonzo was serving time in 2006 till 2000.
You already knew him from the neighborhood?
Ronnie? Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah.
From a kid?
Yeah. So, but I'm saying when he was away, I was taking care of everything.
Why did he become the one you went on record with?
So I told this story. What happened was, this is actually a good one. me and this kid, Chris Cagnata, who was one of the most toughest feared kids around. He's dead now. Somebody killed him. But in 2004, me and him are coming out of a store, and we seen this kid, Phil Galena, who we hate. And Chris bumped him purposely, start with him, that's what he likes to do. Kid Phil thinks he's tough, and Chris cracked a Snapper bottle over his head. We beat him up. Long story short, we think like it's just regular beef. He goes and pays Albanians $10,000 to kill us. Yeah, wait, it gets worse. So we're in a nightclub like 3 weeks later, and he walks in with 2 guys. So we're just thinking he has fucked up head. We have no idea he's IDing us.
Oh, to the hitman?
To the fucking guys. I'm in here with me and my regular friends. You know what I'm saying?
Non-criminals.
Well, me, Chris Cagnata, Frankie Rock, he's passed away too, my good friend. Joe DeGangi, my friend Danny Crocker, and Billy Dublin. So Billy Dublin's a street dude too, but most of the part, regular. But so we leave the club and we hop into my friend's Audi. Now we're packed in because Frankie Rock had to leave early. So we all hop into this Audi, my friend's Audi. So we're driving on the highway, all of a sudden a fucking CLK 2-door pulls up next to us and fires 8 shots into the car. Shoots my friend through the neck, shoots my friend Billy through the back. Oh yeah, there was the kids. It was the guys' ideas. They fucking, them too. They fucking lit the car up. I'm looking at the fire, literally looking at it. It must have just passed my fucking head. Shot my friend through the neck. Shot my other friend in the back. We knew it came from him. The next day he's in Italy, because you realize you don't get the targets. He took off. So now I go. His father was a maid guy with the Gambinos, but his father got deported to Italy for the pizza connection. So I went to my Gambino guys because I'm born Gambino. It's a big thing. So I went to them and I said, listen, I'm killing this kid. I want...
Oh, your family's Gambino.
I'm supposed to be Gambino. I'm supposed to be... My bloodline's Gambino. I went to these guys, Al Trucchio, Ronnie Wonham's son. These are all-known guys. And I said, listen, I'm killing this guy. When he comes back where he is, I'm killing him. I'm letting you know that right now. They're like, no guns, no that bullshit. So I said, I see where these guys are going. They're protecting him. I went to Ronnie and them. They says, green light, do whatever you want. We got your back. So that's really what determined me to really go that way. Because I was floating. I was in the middle.
So if
Alan would have said, yeah, you know, I would have stood with them, with my bloodline.
So, but by
them being
working
like,
for who you did, if you would have ended up doing something to those guys, he would have protected you from repercussions higher up.
Well, they knew the situation, and Ronnie goes,
it's based on violence.
Based on violence.
You gotta understand.
Yeah, but so I ended up. He was hiding. So I told Ronnie what I was going to do. I went to his house with a Tech 9. I put 30 shots into his house with everybody in it. I came back 2 weeks later. I did it.
This is in a residential...
Howard Beach, a mansion. He lives in a mansion. I did he's a rich, family's rich, filthy rich.
Where's the police?
Oh, they came later on, I'm sure. I mean, I went back there again.
But nobody talks.
No. Went back there again. I did it again. Went back there again, set all those cars on fire.
So even though that's a seemingly regular suburban neighborhood, which we've said it's not, but still, there's not even neighbors that'll be like, oh, someone had a machine gun.
I'm sure there will, but you know, no one's gonna talk and say who it was. We were trying to get this kid so bad that my cousin Joey stole a camper van. You know those big camper vans? We were camped out in front of his house, waiting for him. Trying to kill this motherfucker.
Well, yeah, he tried to kill him.
Yeah, so they went to that level. So now we're going to that level. You know, it was just a bottle over your head. You know, we fight a little something. You went. Now you're trying to kill. All right.
Oh yeah, they shot at you.
Yeah. So now they're playing a new ball game, and that's how I determined going to the Banana family, because they wouldn't take my back on it. So Ronnie and them says, do what you got to do. We got you back.
Tell us about getting that case with your granddad.
My grandfather. So what happened was I was 18. You know, pushing, and my grandfather was telling me, he's like, oh, this guy from Jersey wants a brick of coke, my friend Danny. I says, well, let me get it for you. I get it for a good price. He goes, well, how much? Better than what he was getting it for.
How much were you getting it for?
I was getting it for like $24,000. We charged him, but we should have known it was a setup because we told him like 36.
It was too high.
And he was okay with this. And it just so fast. We just didn't think of it. He knew him a long time. And it was a sting operation. It was on, you know, but my grandpa took the weight for me. He called the judge. He's like begging.
And who was your grandfather?
Frank Guerrera. He was just a knock-around guy. He was with my Uncle Andy's brother. My Uncle Andy's brother. No, just hung out. He was associated with them. Yeah, he was.
But it spent was a career in criminal.
Absolutely, right? Yes, yeah.
So he had to go to prison for that.
Yeah, he went to prison. Yeah, he went to prison.
For how long?
3 years he did on that. But then he came home and ended up going back.
For what?
What ends up happening is that I stashed a whole bunch of guns, and I told him I caught a shooting case, and I told my grandpa, I says, get rid of them. Get rid of the guns. He goes, no, I'm going to hold them for you. He's a military guy, he was. He used to clean them, take them apart. He showed me everything.
But he had a record.
Yeah, so he had them stashed, and I says, Grandpa, just get rid of them. A federal informant dropped the tip, said there was guns in the house, and he got pinched with them on parole, and he ended up dying in prison.
Oh, he died in prison?
Yeah, he died in prison, yeah.
Man, R.I.P., that's sad.
Yeah.
How did that make you feel?
Yeah, it was horrible, because I was coming home, I was supposed to come home July of 2010. He died March of 2010.
So you didn't see him?
No, well, they let me go to the funeral. They did let me go.
What was, I mean, when your grandfather is having his 18-year-old grandson procure a kilo, I mean, or
that's normal with that. Yeah, my Uncle Andy had his son kill somebody. He killed his own son-in-law, his own brother-in-law. Yes, my Uncle Andy ordered the murder of his own son-in-law and made his son do it.
What was that over?
So his name was Frank Baccia, Geeky. He was a real lunatic through the neighborhood. This is back in like 89, 88. He was a known nut. And he had a kid with my cousin Francine, and he wanted my Aunt Jenny to pay for the christening. She goes, well, I'm not going to give you the money. I'll pay for it. He slapped her. He slapped the captain. Now, mind you, Andy's in prison. He got sentenced to 45 years.
So these are like people with behavioral disorder.
Well, like, he slapped her in the face, but here's the thing. She knew if she told that this man would be killed. Yeah. She could have did it a different way. But
why would he even want to slap over a baby?
Listen, you do not put your hands on a captain's wife.
No, I know. I'm saying why even just in a regular setting.
No, I know. The guy was a wacko. He put his hands on my Aunt Jenny, which is my grandpa's sister, and Fat Andy was serving time. He was serving 45 years. By the way, his case was overturned by Bill Clinton, one of the ones that get overturned every year. Bill Clinton overturned his case, turned it to 13 years. It's you can look it up.
When did he got out?
So he ended up I'm just saying, so at the time he had 45-year sentence. But my cousin Anthony and Nikki Carrazzo, my cousin Anthony and Tony Lee, who was my Uncle Andy's partner, went to go visit him and told him what happened. Because Jenny already had mentioned it to him on the phone.
So he told his son. His
wife already said there was an altercation with me and Frank. They went up to the visit and told him. He says, go see John Sr. John Sr. God, he was the boss at the time, and I want him dead. And that's it. They've got the approval. My cousin lured him to the social club. Skinny Dime shot him in the head, and they chopped him up, put him in the Atlantic Ocean.
Chopped him up?
Yeah, put him in the Atlantic Ocean. And then my cousin was running around with the family looking for him.
Did he ever did the case get cleared? Who cleared the case?
Anthony did.
Oh, when he turned.
He had to tell his sister that he killed her husband.
No, I mean, did they clear with the government?
Yeah, it was cleared.
Oh, somebody turned and...
Peter Sicaro gave up the murder.
Okay.
That was Geeky's best friend. And when he went missing, he knew already. Peter Sicaro was a killer himself. He cooperated in 03. So my cousin just finished doing 10 years. He came home in 2004. They hit him with the cold case murder in 05.
Who was, at that time, were the Gambinos weak? Bonanno got strong for a while.
It's all equal, really, when you talk about it. I mean, Gambino was always a strong family, but the Bonanos...
It just depends on the crew.
Howard Beach is shared by Gambino Bonanno. That's mostly what's over there. You're going to get those two families. That's mostly what's in that neighborhood.
And it's really about what?
Crews. It's all crews. You know what I'm saying?
It's not really, the overall power of the family is kind of irrelevant to your particular issue.
It goes by crews.
It's about what?
Right. I was a part of the Howard Beach, Queens fraction of the Bonanno crime family, which is one of the most...
G was pretty big earner, dangerous guy.
Think who's a part of that fraction? Vinny Asaro, his son Jerry Asaro, Ronnie Giolano, Jackie, these all heavy hitters. That's their crew.
So tell us about Vinny Asaro.
So Vinny Asaro was a legendary gangster. He was made in the Bonanno family in 1969 by Carmine Galente. Oh, wow. His father was a wise guy. His grandfather was a wise guy. He's third generation. Oh. He was one of the most feared, respected captains in the 70s. He was partners with Jimmy Burke from Goodfellas. That was his best friend, Golfball to his kids.
Is he the one who gave the blessing for the Lufthansa?
He
wasn't portrayed in the movie,
but he was really in it.
Yeah.
He really did.
Henry
Hill wasn't there, so he gave only what he heard. Right. The guy who cooperated on Vinny was Gaspar. He was actually a driver in the Lufthansa heist.
Gaspar?
No, Gaspar Valente.
Oh, okay.
Gaspar Valente was Vinny's cousin. He actually was a driver, one of the vans in the score. That wasn't even brought up in the movie. He wore a wire for 3 years. So he got Vinny on all that stuff. Vinny got $800,000 out of the Lufthansa heist, and he told me he blew it in 3 months on the racetrack.
Yeah, a lot of those guys are
degenerate gamblers. Degenerate gambler. I was really close with him.
Were you a gambler?
Bad. We all are.
So as fast as you make it,
it goes.
And it's not
at one time I was making $40,000 a month cash, and I had nothing to show for it.
It's easy to spend. I know how it goes. But the gambling is sick.
Yeah.
But it goes hand in hand with the personality type of him willing to do a robbery because you're risking your freedom, your safety, and then you want that same excitement is gambling.
Our bread and butter was more loan sharking and sports betting. We'll get into that. I was an armed robber. I had my armed robbing crew, but my mafia stuff was more collecting loan sharking and doing illegal sports betting.
For Ronnie G.
Right. That's how I made my bread and butter. That's your weekly money.
How does that, in a community like
everybody needs money.
Everyone's gambling and
everybody
loan
fucking everybody.
Just as something to do.
People's fathers, cousins. I dealt with everybody. I mean, you have no idea. Yeah, everyone.
What percentage? And probably very small percentage of the people did you ever have to get physical?
Right. Well, you know, you have some people that are so scared they can't pay. They'll run. They'll take off. You know, you'll have to find them and shit. You know, they're so scared they're gonna get hurt. Or you know, there's one incident where
are they mostly borrowing money to gamble with?
It could be anything. I lost my job. I'm gonna get money back this time. I need 10,000, but you got to pay juice. You know, you got to pay the vig.
And
but
what's the vig is what 1% a week or something?
No, so it's $10 on every 1,000. So if you borrow 5,000,
1%.
Yeah. So basically, it would be on 5,000, you pay $150 a week. You know what I'm saying? Every week, don't come off the top.
And how do you knock the top off?
You can't. You have to give back the money whole. So if you do want to knock money off, what you could do is say if you owe 5,000, you could give 1,000 back with the 150, and then next week it'll be 4,000. You got to give 120 now. You can do that, but usually they don't do that. People, yeah.
People just pay forever.
Forever.
Really?
Years. I had guys pay for years on money. I mean, I was making $2,500 a week on loan money, just waking up on a Friday. Ronnie was making $120,000 a month in loan shark money.
And where do the initial pools of money come from?
So extortion, extorting strip clubs, you know, coming off with a big score. Like you do scores, you come into $300,000, put it out in the street, making a ton of money on $300,000.
So that's something that the Italian organized crime. I mean, other people loan money here and there, but you guys really made and that's a great, easy way. And because you guys are part of a more mainstream overall community,
right,
where you're around people with jobs, and it's not like everyone around you is a lunatic.
Right.
There's normal people around who don't want a problem.
Right.
And they really shouldn't be interacting with you.
Right.
That's the whole thing.
Right. They get caught up in our world.
You really should not interact with people that are willing to do things that you're not.
Right.
Because you can't win.
You're right.
Because you were prepared to go to prison or get hurt on any day.
Oh, every day was something new. You know what I mean? Oh, I got to do this, handle that. I was working, you know, 7 days a week. There's no days off, you know?
What about, how did, okay, so tell us what you did for Vinny Asaro.
Well, Vinny, so what happened was I met Vinny young, but when Ronnie went away and I came home, I already was doing small things for him, like before I went away in 2006, like 2004 to 2006. I was always around him with Ronnie, you know, in the crew, doing things, slapping someone, things like that. What happened was when Ronnie went to jail in 2006, I went away in 2006 for a shooting. I came home in 2010. Ronnie stood away. Ronnie goes, report to my uncle while I'm gone. So then I'm directly with Vinny now for like 3 years.
And at this point, he's 70-some years old.
And psychotic.
What a mean,
psychotic, notorious gangster. He did carry a gun at his age. Yes, it's funny. Psychopath. And that's when, you know.
He gets into a road rage.
Oh, that's later on. There's many other things. He wanted me to kill a janitor. He had me beat a janitor.
And this is all personal.
All personal stuff. Yeah, anything.
How many of the mob guys were like, were a lot of them like people who just would they have some?
Depends what kind of guy you're dealing with. You get some lunatic gangsters that are just fucking nuts. I was with a nut.
More than a few of them.
Absolutely.
And always was.
Yeah, and some of them will kill you over nothing. You know? Some of them will kill you over nothing.
So there's guys, like normal, seemingly looking white guys floating around New York that are
fucking nuts.
Bumping to you at the bar, and next thing you know, you're dead.
Yeah.
But they look like a car.
Regular guy. Yeah. You had you had guys that looked like little dweebs. They were pulling out shotguns on you, killing you.
And that's just from the way you were raised.
Yeah, Scott Schumann. Scott Schumann looked like a nerd. Scott Schumann will kill. He was a guy that hung out back in the day. They killed him, I'm saying, but he was shooting people like crazy. He looked like a little geek. He'll fucking pull out a shotgun and blow you away with it. Just like that. People are terrified of him. He was just a nut.
Of all the guys you were around, who didn't? I mean, not everyone cooperated.
Not everybody. A lot of them did, though.
But a lot. Like
it's mostly,
half or more.
Oh, a lot. You know what it is? It's the time. Some people, you know, life is a hard pill to swallow. You don't realize what you're doing. I did a lot of time, you know what I mean? It's hard when you don't care when you're younger, but when you're in your 30s and you got to sit there till you're 60, 70 years old, it's hard.
I did 2 years, and
yeah.
I wouldn't want to sit in the back of a police car right now.
Right.
I mean, I'd tell, but I don't commit crimes.
Me either.
But
yeah.
I wouldn't feel like sitting at the precinct for an hour right now.
It's horrible.
It's a piece of shit life.
At our age. How old are you? What's your era? What's your age?
45.
Okay, I'll be 40, so you know we don't want nothing to do with that right now.
I haven't even once you've been in jail. It's just such a
Sucks.
loser.
Yeah.
It's not even at the tough shit. That's whatever. It's just a bunch of losers.
Sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what about, okay, tell us about, there's a lot of, fake online dissension about is John A. Light real or fake or this or that.
John A. Light's the real deal, man.
Did he plead guilty to 15 murders or
No.
13 or
No.
what was his deal?
So he pled guilty to 6 murders.
Six.
Yeah.
So he had to confess 2 murders. So he's for sure.
Yeah.
6 killed 6 people.
Oh, and shot dozens of people. And
so that's for sure.
we had one of the victims on our show that he shot.
Why do people like to try to say he's fake?
Because John, it's the Gotti camp. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to make him. They don't want to boost him up. Yeah, Junior don't want to boost him up.
You caught a case, or you were running around with the grandson?
Well, he worked for me.
That was the grandson.
The young one.
Or the nephew?
The grandson.
Was that one of the ones that was on the TV show?
No. This is the tough one. This is John.
But those were his brothers.
No, those were his cousins.
And the others. Okay.
Yeah, those were his cousins.
And he caught like an OxyContin.
Big drug case. He got caught up. We got 8 years, and then
So how much younger than you was he?
10 years.
And how'd you meet him?
Neighborhood. His father's Peter, actually the worst Gotti.
Oh, Peter. Didn't he have was he the one who had the heroin conspiracy? Oh, no, that was Gene.
No, I'm not talking. So John Sr. had kids. John Sr.'s son, Peter. His son. Peter was the worst one out of all of them.
Meaning in what way?
Violent. He was fucked. He was a fuck.
Oh, Peter Gotti.
Yes. John Gotti's son. Yeah, was a fuck.
Oh, did he get made?
He didn't want to be, but he was a fucking real bastard, man.
Is he alive?
Yeah. He was a real prick,
Like,
man.
what would he do?
Oh, he tortured people in the neighborhood. Yeah, he was terrorizing.
Tortured?
Oh, he would tie people to poles, put you in dog cages, stab you. He was brutal. He was just brutal. I don't know. He was bad.
Really?
He was brutal. He was the worst one. Nobody talks about him. And then we started saying, how come nobody talks about Peter? Peter was the worst.
Did he ever get in trouble?
No.
You think he was worked with the government?
No. That's his son was the one that was with me.
Oh.
Yeah.
So what went on with you and him?
I had him working for me, doing things, beatings, you know, the same shit, schooling him, you know what I'm saying, bringing him in.
Recruiting. And then he developed like an oxy problem?
Yeah, he did. Well, I was gone. I went to jail, and he started doing
you had a state case?
Yeah, I caught a state case.
What year was that?
2014. The end of 14,
what
September.
Was that
for? A state organized crime case, a conspiracy to home invasions, gun sales, everything.
How much time was that?
Well, I was sitting up, waiting. That's when everything unfolded. Florida locked me up, the state, and the feds were coming. They were all about
that's when you made your deal.
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
So he didn't, when you were by the time he developed his problem, you were already.
I was already gone. Yeah.
So, okay, what was he like? So did you interact with, when you and him were running around when you were still a criminal, did you meet his father and all that?
Oh, I knew his father from, you know.
So how do you have a father, when you say he was putting people in dog cages, you mean like regular people that he got in an argument with?
No, kids from the neighborhood, people, things that, you know, somebody did something wrong, you know, when he used to come to the park, everybody would run. If he found one time, a guy was selling weed in the park, he found out, he closed the whole park down, brought him in the park, and beat him in front of us.
What park?
207.
Is that like an infamous park?
Yes.
What street is that?
Howard Beach. It's the Howard Beach Park, the new Howard Park. Yeah, he was brutal. He was fucking brutal.
This was a neighborhood Italian kid?
Neighborhood guy. He was neighborhood guy. He's probably in his 20s at the time. This is like 2000, I want to say 2002.
And he's just selling dime bags of weed?
Fucking just selling little weed, and the Gotti I worked for me found it when he was a kid, showed it to his dad. They found out who it was. They brought him to the park. They locked us all in. Says, I want to show you something. And they beat him senseless in front of us.
And who was he? Was a neighborhood kid?
Yeah, neighborhood guy.
And what did he
just took the beating, yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Did a lot of people move? Like, why did how did that neighborhood change? Did people choose to move out? Like,
it just got washed up. People going to jail, cooperation.
I mean, did people like living like that?
Yeah, I mean, then, you know, people thought the mob was like dead now. Everybody's going to do different things, going to union jobs, stuff like that. You know, so it started getting watered down, you know?
Well, but weren't there people who just didn't even like it?
Didn't even like it. Yeah, exactly. But they wouldn't say that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, would they move out or?
No, neighborhood's nice. It's a nice neighborhood.
So if you didn't have a young man in your family,
right,
then probably there was nothing.
Right.
If you were an older guy with a job and you had a wife, and
there's nothing going on.
You wouldn't know what was going on. Okay.
Right. Exactly.
And there was no street crime, bro. No burglary.
No, it's just more, you know, our shit. You know what I'm saying?
But I mean,
nobody came in.
Was coming over.
Hell no. We will beat the fuck out. We were bad. You know what I mean? Yeah. So.
So, okay, talk about when you were going to jail. You did do a prison stint.
I did a few of them.
And got out and continued being a criminal.
Yeah.
So it's not like the first time you got in trouble.
Nah, I already did 6 years.
And that was in the state?
I did 2 state bids, yeah.
What was going into Rikers and all that? Well, like, how do people treat? Were you?
So people don't realize I did 40 total months in Rikers Island.
I mean,
that's like, a lot.
You know, people still back there rapping about Wu Gambino. Like, were you kind of have a weird mixture of like
they love
interested in you, but
gang
it's still Rikers though.
Still Rikers, but the gang members loved me because I was a tough Italian guy, and they knew I was a mob guy, and they loved me.
You're likable, and tough enough.
Yeah, they like me. I got along with all of them.
There's been some cases, like, do you know much about that Sally Daz?
No, which one was that?
That guy hired those Bloods in the
I remember that. Yeah,
his fucking father.
My prosecutor did that case. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What did you think? Oh, he has no.
It's not a mob thing. He just was trying to take his father's money. You know what I'm saying? It's not a mob hit. You know what I mean? That's just some scumbag wanted to take his father's money. His dad was affiliated with the Lucchese family, and they killed the one that got killed in McDonald's. You know, when you talking about the driver? Yeah. Yeah.
Did you feel like any of the other ethnic gangs? I mean, there's a lot of people that are Bloods and Lion Kings, but were there any subgroups of them that started to feel like, oh, you're pretty organized and sophisticated, or not really? A little bit, but not really.
They're very disorganized. I'm going to be honest. The Latin Kings is the closest thing to a little organized, and then they started getting disorganized because they all felt the drugs. All became heroin addicts. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, most of them are very disoriented, but just very violent. And they get busy. You know? The gangs get busy. That's just what it is.
Yeah. So what was your experience like in Rikers?
It was wild. You know, it was crazy. Chaotic. You know, it's nonstop. It's nonstop drama. You know what I'm saying? It's never a dull moment in Rikers Island. You know, there's no calm days. No. People are always miserable, looking for fights, gang violence. Someone comes in the house. He's this, he's that, he's no good. When this guy, it's always something going on. You know what I mean?
And were you could still wear street clothes in there?
Yes, you could wear street clothes. Yeah.
So were you wearing your?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Did you put together a little group of young guys?
Yeah, I had all the neutral guys that excuse me. I had a table because all the gang members respected me, and guys that would come in that weren't gang members had nowhere to sit or to eat. So I would get a table, and the gang members were like, "Yo, that's your table. You keep the 550s over there." And, you know, we'll figure it out when they get on the phones, because otherwise they ain't touching the phone. They're going to eat standing up. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to have a chair. You know what I'm saying? So I had a section where I had a chair just enough for a few of them that were in there that they could worry about not getting their commissary taken or whatever. And
those are the ones you chose to kind of feel like he's cool.
Yeah.
Which would be who? Just whoever you
depends. You know, I would see how they are. You know, if they were drunkies, I didn't want to deal with them. I didn't like the drug addicts. You know what I'm saying? I dealt with one. I felt bad for him. I took him in. They ended up hurting that kid, and I caused the whole riot over that. Yeah.
What was that?
This kid Dino came in, and he was a kid from Bayside. He had a drug problem, but he was trying to clean himself up. And then these 2 new Latin Kings kids came in. They didn't know that. You know, I was a respected guy, and I went into a visit. And when I came back, they jumped him, beat him up bad, and took his stuff. And I started I forget it. I destroyed the place.
Oh, of course, so you're
I came back, I told them, and they didn't realize all the gang members were behind me.
Oh.
So there's only 4 Latin Kings in there. I told the cop, crack the cell, open it right now. I said, who did this to you? Who did this to you? Who? And they said the kid Excalibur. I says, go, you gotta fight him. And as soon as I was waiting for him to swing, and then I said it. I pulled out the knife, everything, you know. I'm facing life at the time. You gotta understand that. I'm facing lights out.
Oh, what was the
State,
case?
Florida, and federal.
Oh, this is in between you're ready to take the deal.
Yeah, I was not taking nothing. For 17 months, I was standing strong, you know, ready to...
And you were trying to get money from your mob higher-ups for defense.
And they weren't doing it.
Why?
We had a fallout, but he was saying that he was going to give it to me when it went federal.
Why did you, what was your fallout about?
We had a fallout over money.
Like
in the street.
what?
He was trying to like fuck me over on making money. Ronnie gets greedy. Ronnie gets very greedy, and he didn't like my girlfriend at the time. He does like, he like tries to control your whole life. So he's your captain over everything. You know what I'm saying? What you could wear, what you could drive. He gets very, you know, attached, and I loved him, but he gets, you know.
How close were you to being made?
I was proposed. I was waiting to go in. Yeah.
And because I know sometimes they'll close the books for years.
That's old school. No, the books are always open. And nowadays, you don't even have to see. Back then, you had to tell them when you were making someone. Nowadays, you don't even have to. You just do it.
So you feel like it's pretty much a wrap?
Yeah, it's over. It's a wrap. Yeah.
It was for all the family?
Vinny wanted me in. Vinny was trying to get me straightened out.
Vinny?
Sarah.
Oh, I don't think we finished it, sir. So tell us exactly what that incident. He had a road rage.
Somebody cut him off on the road driving, and he
like a regular person.
Yeah, a regular person. He got the guy's plate because I guess he got into an argument with him. He got the guy's plate. He went to somebody in the Gambinos that runs the plates for us. We had a dirty cop. They run the plate, and I got the address, and he says, "Go blow the car up." That's all it was.
So that was pretty run of the mill.
And then we got caught. We got caught setting it on fire, and we got into a high speed chase with the cops.
Why'd you get just random bad luck?
Fucking the guy was 2 in the morning. I'm fucking off duty. Was fucking in a DT seeing us and chased us.
If you do enough crimes, you randomly get caught every once in a while.
Setting the guy's car on fire. We got caught. Yeah.
Which is arson's a serious charge alone.
Very serious.
I mean, even though it doesn't. For everything you're doing, it doesn't feel like a big deal.
But the time is very serious with arson.
Yeah,
very serious.
Probably 10 years.
You know, if you set a stoop on fire, and even if the people are in the house, they could charge you with attempted murder of everybody in the house.
No, because it is. I mean, really.
They're very strict with arson.
It shouldn't. No, fire is very dangerous.
Yeah, they're very strict with it. Very strict.
Firemen come.
I know guys that got 20 years for setting things on fire.
A family member to an arson fire.
Yeah.
Firemen die in them. Can't play around with fire.
Yeah.
So when do you get taken off the street?
September of 2014.
And what was the circumstances of that?
State organized crime. They had me. My cousin wore a wire on me and got me on a load of charges.
Who was your cousin?
Frank Nunziata. This kid, Frank.
What made him? What trouble was he?
He was selling 4 ounces of cocaine or more to an undercover with his baby in his arms and pulling the drugs out the backpack 21 times. Direct sales. He was fucking done.
He sold 4 ounces 21 times?
Yes.
Because were you still under, was Rockefeller law?
No, it was gone, but it's still bad. Those are A1 felonies. You're done. You get 15 years for that alone.
So how
and he was on federal probation.
So he
was hit.
And why did he pick you as his
Well, because he worked for me, and that's what they wanted. They wanted me.
Oh, they asked.
They asked for me. Yeah, they knew he was hanging out with me.
If for the guys who stayed away from any drug sales, I mean, did a lot of those guys make a pretty good career with maybe just brief spurts in jail if you stuck to the low?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, you got to understand that when you go into a RICO racketeering case, they're very strict too. Federal will give you a lot of time. Anything with violence in the feds, you get some time. It's not as bad as drugs in the feds, but you start getting those RICO shootings, RICO assaults, you'll get 10, 15 years for that, man, or more. Yeah. You shoot a guy in the ass. In the state, look, you shoot a guy, let's just say me and you got a beef, we're nobodies. I shoot you in the ass, I get 3 years. Yeah. Let's say Ronnie sends me to shoot you. That's a RICO shooting. That's 20 years.
Because it's in commission of the Bonanno family.
And to up your position in the organization. They word it fucked up, where you could get 20 years for shooting somebody in the ass. Think about that. So the RICO crimes are bad.
When you were starting being around other criminal, like in jail and just comparing like you guys' criminal career, it is a lot different being associated with Italian organized crime because you do have access to so many resources. Like you said, hey, who's this Al Prophet guy? You can get a rundown to find out this. What's this address? What's
access
this license
to everything.
plate?
People came to me for everything.
I need a fake ID.
Anything.
Whatever.
We had access to everything.
Which makes, I mean...
Bro, I had the Rambo machine gun. You ever see the one from the movie Rambo?
Yeah.
I had that. The one with the big Rambo one that
you just asked
a guy says he used to be a military guy, and he goes, yo, I got this crazy dance. Let me see it. It was the fucking Rambo fucking gun that he uses in the movie. The one with with the big drum thing. I had that. Use it? No, I was fucking. I don't even know why I bought it. It was crazy thing.
So what all charges were you facing when you were sitting on Rikers for 17 months?
It was a whole bunch, but I had a state organized crime case, which was a conspiracy to home invasions.
Who were the home invasions?
Drug deal guys we were robbing.
Who told on those?
Frankie. He had the wire on. He was the one that did all the cooperating and on the case.
He knew he was doing stuff with you?
Yeah.
Oh, he was. Did you know he was selling cocaine, or you were all doing everything?
So I shot a guy in a car, right? I shot this kid in 2011, and he gave them that because I had him get rid of the dirty gun years later, and he told them about that too. So I knew I was getting charged with that.
So you had bad kid. The kid lived though.
Yeah, but I shot him pretty bad, and then they already were investigating me for other.
That alone will get you 20 years.
I was on federal probation when I was on state probation when I shot him.
Oh yeah.
It was bad. So, the whole thing was just bad. And then they got me on a rain of charges, and then they put the Florida, I had an armed robbery on a jewelry store in Florida. He told them.
So in the midst, so if you're making $40,000 a month,
right,
picking up money and doing
that's not always. That was for a short time.
Oh, here and there.
Yeah, so my best years, I was making $30,000 to $40,000 a month. That was for like 2 years.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
That was my high point. What span of years was your run? Because you were in prison a lot.
So I had a good run from like 03 to 06. And then I had a really good run from 2010 to 2014.
So 3 years and 4 years.
Yeah, 7-year run, you could say.
Split up. I mean,
Split up.
Not 4 years goes by like that.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying when I was really in like doing things.
Yeah,
I've been in the streets since 2000.
Right.
I'm just giving you real time frames of really doing things, you know?
And you were a bad gambler.
Bad.
Man.
Yeah.
Because John Gotti was known to be a degenerate.
We all are. All of us were gamblers. Sports bettors, Well,
weren't there, there had to be some guys who bought shit with, there are secretly mafia-owned businesses and all that. There's some guys who saved their money.
Right. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But there's some of them. You have some cheap ones that, still millionaires to this day.
If you're riding around a neighborhood like Howard Beach, not to put any particular business out there or whatever, but like, as you're looking at just all these regular businesses, a lot of them are...
Yeah, affiliated, connected.
Because I know about stuff the big Italian restaurant chain in suburban Detroit, it's a mob like it is.
Yeah,
like we know that.
Of course. Yeah. So, like I says, our organized crime is all I knew growing up.
But but you said it good at the beginning of like, some of you were like just street gang members.
Yeah.
And you were so empowered because of your connection to
we wanted to be that
organized thing where you could get addresses and access to guns and people paying you to do stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
And getting you out of trouble and getting you lawyers.
Easy money, you know what I'm saying?
Did early on, did you ever feel like you got out of something? Did a lawyer ever get sent and you were like, oh shit, I'm out of that?
Not only that, I had like 3 assault cases that were going on time. I had assault. I was getting community service.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was getting community service.
Oh, so you probably started feeling...
I had 3 assaults, 2 with weapons, 1 regular assault, and then 18, that's when I got in trouble. With drugs, the kilo case, that was the bad one.
And but your grandfather took the...
But I still did 18 months.
Okay.
Yeah,
the feds?
No, state.
I
was still state. Yeah.
What was that? What did
Rikers.
you go to minimum?
I was in Rikers most of the time, yeah.
Were you... so... What was it just to say?
Just fucking shitholes. It's dumb. Yeah, it was a
and did you get to state prison?
No.
Oh, you did all 18 months at Rikers?
Yeah.
Oh, Rikers is sort of like a combination
of
a jail and a prison?
Well, yeah, you could cop out to time and
what's the longest you could do it? 2 years?
Oh, 7 years you could be in Rikers fighting the case.
Well, no, not fighting, but what's the longest you... Yeah, right. But,
City Bullets, you get in ring wild. So you get 2 City Bullets rank current. You could do 18 months in there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. That's how most counties.
Yeah.
And the county jail is very uncomfortable. Rikers.
Rikers is just the worst.
It's people, and you can't even get used to anybody. It's a new set of lunatics every day.
Bad. Yeah. There you go.
That's what it is.
It's the 5 boroughs mixed together.
Yeah. Did you interact much with other? You were pretty much in that Queens.
No, I interacted with everybody. I got along with the Bronx guys, all the gang members there.
did you go... Well, no, I'm saying when you were on the outs.
Oh, yeah, Brooklyn. I did a little bit Bronx. I dealt with Staten Island people.
I mean, New York's so huge. Even when we throw around when you're the term and you call Howard Beach a neighborhood. If you took Howard Beach and set it in the state of Iowa, it'd be the second biggest city. I mean, a neighborhood of New York is big. Is big.
Yeah.
So John A-Light was that serious of a guy. So you consider him? He's your buddy now?
We were very close. Yeah.
And how much older than you is he?
He's 23 years older than me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember him from when you were a kid?
So yeah, when he cooperated, his kids were in the neighborhood, and why he had respect for me still is I told him don't bother him.
Oh.
And so
how old were his kids?
Younger.
Like 10 or something?
No, 15 to 18 of the age.
They were starting to 22?
Older than that. I got his kids by like 10 and 12 years.
Oh, and people were going to harass
No, but they
kids.
were just like, his father cooperated, and I was like, they didn't want to come around sometimes. Like, no, they're good in the parks, all that stuff. I was like that,
Well, I worked at that's another interesting. As the years go by and there's more and more cooperators in different families, like, there got to be a lot of people who's got an uncle, a brother, this or that.
They don't bother you. They don't say shit. We don't, you don't take it on the person. Mafia don't work like that. You know what I'm saying? You're not supposed to do that. It's the person. We don't operate like cartels and MS-13s do that bullshit, kill kids and women and blood.
Wow, but sometimes.
Yeah, you're not supposed to though. That's a no-no.
So that was pretty enforced. What was the highest level people you ever kind of personally sat down and interacted with?
The highest. I sat with the boss of the family.
Which was what, Messina?
No, Tommy DeFury at the time.
Oh, he didn't flip, did he?
No.
He's still the boss?
No, he's not the boss no more. Mikey the Noses, Mikey Mancuso.
Oh, yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. But he has a case now, doesn't he?
Well, probation violation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What were those guys more? Did they seem more in control of themselves, or?
Yeah, they're just old Italians, old miserable Italians. That's what they are. Oh, nasty really? Fucks. They were nasty fucks. Most of them. Most of them are nasty pricks. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So what's it's just an inherited way of life. I mean, it doesn't sound super appealing.
The money. It's all about the money. You know what I'm saying?
But when you're saying everyone's miserable and all this, like.
And not all of them are like that, but the old timers, a lot of them are. You know what I mean?
What were they doing to enjoy the money?
Oh, forget it. I was a party fucking nut. I was out from Monday to Sunday. Every day in New York City or somewhere. Nightclubs, strip clubs, everything. We had a ball, Jewelry, clothes.
What about the older guys?
Nah, they're more cheap. They're more sit in the house. They really don't do much. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You're over Ronnie G. I mean, when you flipped, what?
Ronnie.
Did you have to give info on him? Who did you really have to?
Ronnie. That's who they were after mostly.
Okay.
They wanted Ronnie.
How much time did he get? 14
years.
What's interesting, it sounds like the stuff you say yourself you were doing.
Right.
Is work. If he only, 14 is long enough.
Right.
But you would have got far, like they let you get out of life to get him 14.
He was a cap. He was one of the most, I'll tell you why, how it goes. So it's like a business deal almost. So it's names. Vinny Asara, Ronnie G. Alonzo, that's what they needed me for. I did all their dirt. So they
Even though you were doing more antisocial behavior.
Right, so they want the stuff that was ordered. And, they ordered me to kill someone, they ordered me to shoot someone.
You fucking, pulling up to cart and, that's
serious shit.
Yeah.
It was in there, I copped out to it. Oh, fuck yeah, absolutely. So,
because anytime you jump on, they could have a gun. You could easily kill some kid.
I shot it, and when I tried to kill Chris Cagnata, I shot his cousin, innocent person. It happens all the time.
So is it those New York prosecutors? That's a big career path. They? Do you really feel like when you were working with them, they're like, oh, how can I make my name? And
well, I dealt with a lady that was very well established already, Nicole Argentieri. She was like a known organized crime chief prosecutor who prosecuted a lot of mob cases already. So she's
But again, it just seems like, and not saying I want you to be in prison, but like a guy who's saying, I'm doing home invasion robberies, I'm the one who's going to shoot people. Why do you let him get 5 years when the guy who's just making
No, it's crazy. But you know why? They don't want the person pulling, they want the person pointing. They want the person who's sending you, who's making you do these things.
Because they figure you can be replaced easier than that.
Right, and not only that, they want the name, they want the rank, you know what I'm saying?
Well, that's what I was saying. From the prosecutor's standpoint, they want to be able to say for their career.
They want the guy calling the shots.
Away
yes. Yeah, that's true. Name's a big thing. And plus, they just lost the Latanza case, not guilty on all charges.
How did that happen?
I don't know. One knows.
Do you, I mean, you think they probably got to a jury?
No, nothing of that nature.
They had evidence, right?
Evidence? They had everything but him take a picture with the bodies. I mean, he confessed. They found the body. I said, look, you're wearing a wire, right? Okay. And you bring up something, I go, yeah, we buried him under the house. He's here. They find the body. He still beat it.
How?
I don't know. I strangled him with a dog chain, and me and Jimmy Burke buried him under the house, and they found him, and he still beat it. Maurice Wiggs, you know, Goodfellas movie? Yeah. He killed Maurice Wiggs. He buried him on the fence company.
Is he the one?
Well, that's just the movie, but they killed Maury.
But he's the one who killed Maury.
He was part of it. They buried him on Vinny Asara's fencing company. He was once there on the company. They had all this proof. They had the proof of him admitting to crimes.
And a jury found him not guilty or a judge?
Jury. Not guilty on charges. They found listen to me, they killed the guy. His name was Paul Katz. 1969, they killed him. They buried him under a house. They found the bones where he said he was, under Jimmy Burke's daughter's house. They found him. Still not guilty.
Was A-Night the one, did I hear him say he paid the bribe in the Gotti case?
No, he didn't say that.
Oh, that was Sammy the Bull.
Yeah, Sammy, that's true. Gotti won all his cases because they did fix a lot of them, yeah.
Does A-Light, so you and A-Light don't move in any sort of fear of anything?
No, absolutely not. Mm-hmm.
And I was in jail in Phoenix when Sammy caught
the pill case.
Yeah, and I was passing out towels, and I met his son. And I remember
Gerard. I talked to Gerard.
Yeah, I remember giving his son a time, and I felt sorry for him. I was like, because he's just a regular. I mean.
Right.
Nobody. He's just Sammy the Bull's kid.
They gave him like 7 years.
9. I got 9. I know what it was. It was 9, and they gave Sammy 18 years.
20.
And he did it too. Yeah. I'm amazed he made it out of.
Yeah.
I don't know. The thing I don't care, but like the fact that he gets to sit and talk about. Like, you didn't confess to any murders because you didn't commit any, because you would have had to confess to them.
Right.
So you confessed to some attempted murders, right?
Attempted murders, conspiracy to murder, stuff like that.
But if you had killed somebody and you held it back...
I'm done.
So you didn't do that?
No. The only thing that happened was in prison, somebody had died in the jail cell, and I had told him I tried to save him. And, you know.
Oh, yeah, that was a weird show. What was that?
So we got into a rumble. The kid dropped dead of a heart attack. He was on Suboxone. But they could have charged it and said that it was from me. But they didn't. They ruled it was from a heart attack. So technically, you know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And what was that on? Just some regular
gang. He was a gang guy. We got into an altercation. 10
what gang was he in?
Blood. 10-minute altercation.
Who was all in the altercation?
Me and my bunkie and him. And I was more or less in there.
Was it supposed to be like you and your bunkie jumped on him?
No, I was my bunkie.
To break it up,
yeah, somewhat. But they tried saying that we jumped him and beat him up. But the thing was that he dropped.
This was in the witness protection or segregation unit?
This was me.
Or this is before you made the deal?
This is after I made the deal.
So even within where everyone has made a deal, it's still everyone's a gangster.
Well, no, I was under a fake name. I was in a regular county jail under a fake name.
Do you think maybe they didn't want to give you a case because that would have broke your...
Well, not only that, it's the doctor's autopsy ruled he was on Suboxone. He died of a heart attack. But the family's saying, well, who caused the heart attack? You know, there was like a whole,
But you're out of the woods.
Yeah, I'm out of the woods.
So, but if you had hidden any murders on the outs...
I'm done.
But you did that Queen for a day or whatever they call it.
Well, it's more than that. With us, it's...
Queen for a month.
No, this is different. You sign contracts with this kind of corporation, and you get coverage and everything you give them. This is like serious federal.
So...
Queen for a day is like the state. You know what I'm saying? That's different.
Okay.
Federal is much different.
So, if, let's say... I assume when they're bringing a guy like you in, they figure they know what you did, but they don't know everything you did.
Right.
If you had,
they know mostly.
But if you, let's just
say you left something out,
or no, let's say you were a guy that like they didn't know how serious you were, and you're like, oh no, I did 6 murders.
Right.
They got to eat that at that point, right?
Of course. Can't. Well, they want that because they want to know who you did them for. Where are they? Who ordered it? That's it. They start building this whole thing. Think about how much cooperation that creates. Let's say you're a guy, you're a hitman, right? And you killed 6 people. You did it.
The best deals. The hitmen get the best deals. deal.
Well, think about what it creates. So you killed 6 people, right? But you did these murders with other people. Now, let's say they go pick them up. They might cooperate. Well, they got something else. It just keeps going. Oh, I got this. I can give you this. So everybody, it brings in one cooperator could turn to 30. You could turn into a fucking 100-man indictment. You understand?
Yeah.
So that's why they do that.
So he had to cop out to 6 murders.
6 murders he copped out.
So he must have. I mean, did you know? Let's see. When he went into jail, how old were you?
20.
Oh, so you were old enough to have run around with him a little bit?
I've seen him in the street a bunch of times.
And he was a what? Like
fucking
baseball bat?
Oh, he's a no nut. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He seems fine talking.
Now, not 30 years ago, 20 years ago. He's brutal.
Really?
Yeah.
And who was he doing stuff for?
John Jr.
Oh.
That was his best friend.
And what's the source of their fallout? Just that he turned on?
No,
but
John...
did John Jr. sort of cooperate?
100% he profited.
Oh,
yeah.
He did?
Oh, 100%. It's 100%, yeah. He sat, 100% profit.
Is that hidden?
No, it's out there. Everyone knows.
Oh.
He just, don't want to... He feels like, I didn't put no one away. It don't matter. He still sat.
Yeah, what did he say when he said? Who knows?
They all shelved him. He's gone. He's no good. No one talks to him like that,
But he's not in any danger.
No. Because of his dad. For respect of his dad. Don't ever bother him.
And John Sr.'s name is still...
Golden. Can't never say nothing bad about him.
Who else's name is Golden?
Barney.
Who?
Barney, the boss of the Genovese family. Vicar Musso. You have a lot of guys that their names are gold timers that are golden.
Yeah.
Took life. Took 30 years, for the years.
Oh, Vinny Gorgeous.
Vinny Gorgeous. That was my our boss.
That was your...
He took double life, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then what was it like when you went into the witness segregation?
The jail?
Because it's a lot of info. I mean,
you meet the most powerful people at one time in the country. You meet the most high-profile people. I mean, you meet people that you like. What?
You were like a South American president or something?
I was with the president of Honduras. I was with the Attorney General of Mexico. Yeah, about a drug case.
Wow.
More like a fucking. What did they weigh? Tons? Yeah, it was like tons. Attorney General of Mexico. I was with the Flores twins who worked for El Chapo.
I interviewed them. Yeah.
You did?
I talked to them on the phone.
Margarito?
Both of them.
It's my good friend, Margarito. I was with him for 3 years.
You would never know.
Nicest guy. What? What's going on?
On the phone, you would never know unless you knew.
They weren't violent. Just money.
Yeah.
Great guy. Margarito, if you ever speak to him again, you tell him you talk to me, you would go crazy.
Well, they're probably, the 2 wives just got sent to prison.
I know. I heard about it. We were together. I was with him for 3 years.
I don't know. I think Peter was who I was talking to.
There's no Peter.
Well.
Margarito.
Pedro and Margarito.
Yeah, there's Margarito. I was with Margarito.
They were called. His wife calls him Peter.
Yeah.
I was talking to him and his wife a lot on the phone.
Right.
But
their book was good, Cartel Wives. That was a good book.
The wives almost fucked them. Like the wives, while they were in prison, the wives were flying them and 8 of their friends to concerts in Dubai.
They were pulling up to visits in Rolls Royces.
Bentleys. They got millions delivered.
They got a lot of time for cooperation. They got Chicago fucking give them 14 years. New York told them you wouldn't have got a day if you came to us.
I don't know. They had such a big cake.
New York's different. Best cooperation. Best cooperation deals. They give the best deals. Everyone knows that.
Really?
The other districts are bad. Other circuits are bad.
So if you're a national level criminal and you're planning to get down, go see New York.
That's the best. They give you the best deals.
So, did you have any you interacted, of course, with Sam Bankman-Fried?
Yeah, I did. I beat somebody up for him. I went to the hole for that. Yeah.
He's going to get a lot of time.
Only 100 years. Yeah. Sick, right? I don't deserve that time.
Well, I mean, I don't know, because I know about the cryptocurrency. I made some money and then I got out of it. He's pretty predatory, just because he doesn't look like it.
No, I know. But he didn't,
I ain't saying he's going to get 100 years, but...
He's going to get 100.
But he's going to get...
No, he's
facing 100.
He has the same points as a murderer.
Yeah, he definitely...
He has 47. His points were 47. That's like...
Oh, you know what his points were?
47. That's like murder. That's like murder.
How many points did you have? Like
47. Oh. That's a life sentence.
Oh.
Yes. Could be up to a life sentence.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So anything less than life, you're doing him a favor.
Well, they're not going to get
life. He's still hiding money.
They're going to give him anywhere between 50 to 100 years.
That's what you predict?
No, that's what they recommended.
Oh.
Yeah. He has the worst judge in the Southern District. Kaplan.
And what do you got going on these days?
My book's bestseller.
Tell us what's the name of the book?
Born in the Life.
So it's on Amazon?
Yeah, Amazon. It's a bestseller. If you want, a personal autograph copy, I sell them through my Instagram, Gene Borello. They're actually taking the book and trying to turn it into a TV show.
Like an episodic?
Yeah, it's going to be like a modern-day Soprano.
What's your mother, through this whole ordeal, she's hopefully alive and in good health.
Yeah.
What's your and her relationship?
Oh, good, close. She understands, I have other brothers that are great, they're all successful. I'm the bad one.
How many brothers you got?
4.
And they're all
good.
Normal?
Yeah, they're all good. So it happens. Black sheep.
Well, not really. I mean, you were around other family members.
No, I know. I'm saying, but I chose the street.
Do you feel like a different person now?
Yeah.
Do you?
I mean, don't get me wrong. I still have a temper.
Yeah. But do you get pains of temptation of crime?
No, I can't. I don't want to be in that side.
I'll tell you, once not that I was any big serious criminal, but just even even having a little drugs in your house. I mean, there's always that worry you can go to jail. When you don't have that anymore, it's a
great feeling. Not looking over your shoulder. Who's watching me? The feds are bugging you. You fuck all that shit. It was horrible,
No, when you
it's
get
stressful.
away from it,
it's stressful.
Horrible.
Fucking stressful.
And that's why probably so many people in their life gamble, drink, get into drugs.
Absolutely. And you believe murder and these things are normal. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a part of the life. You know what I'm saying?
Let's go for a hurt day.
If you'll hurt that, it's normal.
It's
not like the regular person, like, oh my God, to me, I'll go crack him in the head with a bat. It's like normal. You know what I'm saying? It's like our way of life.
What to you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you regret or just that's the way your life?
That's the way it was, man,
Is there anyone you did anything to that you're like, damn, that guy coming?
That I've done. Well, we got this guy, Bam. He was my friend and my crew. Other made guys wanted to rob him, and we did for a lot. And he was in our crew.
Why'd you?
They didn't like him. They wanted to rob him, and
why'd you go along with it? Just
a lot of money.
Oh, drugs?
No, loan shark money, jewelry. We got him for like over $500,000. Yeah.
And what had he done to merit that?
They just didn't like him. Yeah.
Oh, he wasn't made.
No, he was
with Ronnie G.
He was with Jerry Asaro, Vinny's son.
Oh.
Yeah. So.
And so he was supposed to be protecting him, and then one day was just do what you want to him.
No, Jerry didn't know. We did it behind.
What would have happened if you had?
Well, they know now. It was all out, but I'm saying I was already gone.
At the time, though, if you had gotten caught.
Oh, you get killed for that.
Oh, you would have got killed.
100%.
And you still did it.
Yeah.
So you did a lot of things that could have got you killed even under
yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Were you starting to feel like these guys are slipping, they ain't gonna kill me?
No, it's just more or less you get ahead of yourself. You start getting arrogant. You start thinking like who you are.
And do you think, at what year did, you say it's pretty much washed up now, but they're still running low. I mean, there's stuff going on.
Yeah, but the violence is gone. You don't hear about nothing.
What year do you think that was really, or what caused the final?
Feds.
No, but the Feds been hitting people for 50 years.
There's no one coming up.
What year did it finally, it ain't much going on anymore?
2016, 2017.
Oh, so not that long.
Yeah, it's completely.
So even 2010, 12, there was still a little.
Oh, yeah, still shit going on. Absolutely.
Oh.
Yeah.
But the last wave.
That's it, though. The 80s,
so there's no new guys.
Nah, it's all little kid, the punks. There's nothing going on. You don't hear about nothing no more. It's over. It's dead.
Because, why you want to sign up for all that?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, well, Gene Borello, we thank you.
Yeah.
Our Prophet American Dope.
Yeah.
So what's your book again?
Born in the Life. Get it on Amazon, and you could, also my Instagram is Gene Borello. You could get it from me personally.
All right, we appreciate it. We'll hopefully do some more stuff with you.
Yes, thank you.
That's dope.
Yes.